Hello and welcome to today's web seminar, How to Create Killer Content for Insurance Agency Marketing. Today's speakers, first, myself. My name is John Scranton. I'm an agency marketing pro at StartUpSelling. Was previously a licensed agent in a top 100 agency in New York State. Co-authored Sell More and Work Less, and my specialty within the agency marketing realm is blogging and social media, which will tie in with what we're talking about today. Our second speaker is Alan Bloom. Alan's the CEO of StartUpSelling. He's written Your Virtual Success and Sell More and Work Less. Was twice named to the Inc. 500 list. He's the creator of the Prospect Scorecard and the Prospect Scorecard app. He's written over 150 agency marketing articles, making him a true subject matter expert for how to create killer content for agency marketing. So a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today. In our opinion, great insurance agency marketing requires great content. So we've spent a lot of time on this because this is our business, and we've created a list of 7 steps for your agency to use, to leverage, to create killer content and attract prospects, drive website traffic, and impress the people that see you online. So I'll run through them very quickly. First, we're going to talk about your message and your topic. What do you have to say, and how do you decide what you should say? Your blog. In our opinion, it all starts with a great blog online. You've heard us say that before. We'll say it again today. Social media is very important because, like in this image shown at right, it allows you to exponentially expand your content platform. And a bonus tip, not included in the 7, we're going to talk about LinkedIn's publishing platform a little bit to bring people up to speed on this cool new technology. Now, those first 4 are all italicized because, in our opinion, those are required. Every time you go through a content cycle, you should be touching upon all 4 of those, or you're missing something. When you can, we'd like to see you move into the next group of steps, creating articles. Is your blog something that can be repurposed or expanded upon or illuminated into an article? Can you collate or curate your blogs and articles into a newsletter? Can you send that newsletter or blogs out to prospects via email? And last but not least, is the content that you've created something that can be turned into a video? So if you follow those 7 steps, we know you'll have killer content for great agency marketing and lead gen campaigns. So let's get started. First, crafting your message. How can your agency create great content? Well, a key tip, a knowledge nugget, as Alan likes to say, is don't wait to create. When you see something, or when you read something, or when you have a thought that you see as powerful content or a powerful message that your prospects and clients would be interested in hearing, immediately write it down or email it to yourself or text it to yourself or put it on the notepad in your computer, however you like to take notes. Capture that thought before it's gone, because the worst time to create a blog topic is when you sit down at your computer. You want to have that in the bank and ready to go. A good topic should educate. Don't sell insurance. Don't sell insurance in a blog, in an email, in any piece of content, or it's going to go by the wayside. Your topic and message also needs to be relevant to your target prospects. What do they need to learn? Some samples, regulatory updates. Those are very powerful. Always get great traction, create great content. Those might be for transportation type industries or contractors, highly regulated industries that have many agencies watching over what they're doing. The Affordable Care Act, for all of you that sell benefits. Of course, you've been talking about it daily. That's a great topic for your killer content strategy. And last but not least, workplace safety. Maybe a comp-focused producer wants to help decrease the number of incidents at a job site and help his clients decrease their experience mod factor. What you're doing is solving problems or challenges for the prospects that you want to sell to, and at the same time proving that you have expertise. You understand their business and the challenges that they're facing. You also want to convey your value proposition. Let them know, at least between the lines, if not explicitly, how your agency can help them and why they should be talking to you, and always close with a call to action. So that's step 1, how to create your agency message that you're going to be sharing via the web. Step 2, post that message as a blog entry. Once again, it all starts with a great blog. just like this blog we're showing today on the screen. This is a blog that Alan actually wrote, and I'll ask him to expand upon it in a minute. But I wanted to point out a few important things that he's done in this blog which achieve the objectives we went over in the first slide. One, he's conveyed our expertise. He explains that we understand agency marketing and websites. Two, it's important to our prospects. Most insurance agencies don't have professional web designers and developers on staff. We do, so we can help them overcome the challenges they may be facing with websites. And arguably most importantly, he closes with a call to action, which includes our primary sales phone number. So he meets all of those killer content requirements with this blog entry. So Alan, if you would, tell us a little bit about how you came up with this concept and turned it into a great blog.
Well, this is an interesting example, and John was exactly right when he said that blogging, which is the beginning of your content cycle, or should be, blogging should be an iterative process that is constantly ongoing, that it's going, it's evolving, it's happening real time. You see a good idea, you make a note of it. You think of an idea for a blog, you type in the perhaps you type in the header, you type in the subject line, and you save that file to your desktop or to a folder. This one has a particularly interesting origin. I saw a similar blog for a different industry, and I said, you know, the way they wrote this blog, I can definitely improve upon it. They missed some key points, and I could do a better version of this idea. People say often there are no original ideas. I don't quite agree with that, but borrowing and repurposing things, never plagiarize of course, but borrowing and repurposing is something that you can do very effectively. So this was for a different industry. They were talking about what does the website say, and I changed that to make it insurance agency specific using some of the best practices from StartUpSelling. Now this blog borders on being slightly salesy because it's saying, hey, you really need to have a high-quality website. That said, there's still some thought-provoking ideas there to say, go look at your website and what is it conveying for you. So this is a classic blog. Note it has an image, and we then want to take this blog and do other things with it, as John will elaborate upon.
The first thing that you want to do with this blog is begin to share this content, spread it out across the social media landscape. And when we talk about social media, we focus our time on the big four. That's where most people play, and that's where most people view content online. Now, in our opinion, LinkedIn is much more important than Twitter, Facebook, or Google+, maybe twice as important as any one of those or more, because LinkedIn is where B2B professionals play. That's where they spend their time, and that's where business people, business leaders, CEOs, presidents, CFOs, VPs of HR, VPs of finance, people that you may sell to when you're prospecting commercial, property and casualty, or group benefits, are spending time on LinkedIn, developing connections, and reading and learning. And you can fuel what they're seeing by sharing the content that you've created in your blog. So you can leverage that content quickly to get a bigger audience, drive people to your website, and hopefully open a dialogue with them over time. So on the next slide, I want to talk a little bit about a bonus tip that we're going to share today, because this is really important. Everybody knows that social media is big and it's important, and you need to be posting to LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+ on a regular basis, but not everybody has discovered the LinkedIn publishing platform. And I'll give you 3 reasons why this is really a great thing. One, now you can post content similar to a blog entry within LinkedIn. So somebody who you would like to sell to, a prospect, or somebody who you would like to remind of your expertise and value, like a client, can now see an entire blog post or video or image that you post without ever leaving LinkedIn. There's no click-through. They don't have to go anywhere. So it increases the likelihood that they'll actually listen to what you have to say, because they have another opportunity to see that content immediately. Now, we're happy if they go to your website, because that's going to improve your traffic and lead capture. But if they don't want to, now they can hear your message while they stay within the LinkedIn platform. Secondly, this is new, this is cool, it's edgy, it's exciting. So people don't totally understand the concept. You still can get out ahead of the curve with LinkedIn publishing. Whereas if you sign up for Twitter tomorrow, you're several years behind with the LinkedIn publisher. You're immediately ahead of the curve. And third, you could craft a message that you share on LinkedIn that's specific to the types of people that you've connected with, which hopefully are your prospects and clients, and something that's going to help them that they'll see immediately will be a great way to encourage them to follow you and pay attention to what you're saying on LinkedIn. Now, Alan, I've said a lot about LinkedIn. Would you like to touch upon the social media platforms at all?
Absolutely. So John has done an excellent job describing why LinkedIn can be more powerful for insurance agencies than perhaps Twitter or Facebook. It is not just B2B, because many of the prospects that you want to sell from a B2B, a business-to-business perspective, also purchase personal lines. So if you're a generalist and you sell both business policies, commercial policies, and personal lines, LinkedIn is still a great platform for you to reach out and do this with. The publishing platform is very interesting. We think LinkedIn and Google Plus are going to start trying to evolve to become publishing platforms. Right now, the leading article directory or publishing platform is called eZine. It's about the ranks of the 1,000th most popular site in the United States. That's a lot of hits. That's a lot of traffic and volume. So we think that both LinkedIn and Google Plus will start trying to go after that for traffic and control of data. That said, you want to always be covering as much as you can, because remember, repurposing content allows you to cover all of cyberspace with the same general concept. So I wrote an article, for example, I wrote a blog about should agencies staff up or outsource their insurance agency marketing. I posted that to all the platforms, including LinkedIn, Facebook. We tweeted it. Then I turned it into eZine. I submitted it to eZine. I'm a platinum author there. And eZine liked that article, accepted it, and published it. Today, I would have also, this article was done a little while ago, today I'd also add that to LinkedIn in a slight variation. Now, if you don't have time to do this, it's an excellent thing to consider outsourcing for your agency. If you do like to write, then certainly at a minimum you can write blogs, but if you can turn your blog into a educational article of 400 words or more, you get bonus points. You get a lot of extra exposure by submitting it to a quality article database, an eZine, LinkedIn Publishing, etc. And if you notice on the left, there's my scary picture, plus there's a very valuable backlink, an author profile backlink. The more quality backlinks you have to your website, and again, quality over quantity, the more quality backlinks you have, the better that your insurance agency website will do.
The next area we're going to talk about is newsletters, and we're big fans of newsletters because newsletters build true opt-in subscribership over time. And the content that we've been developing so far through the steps that we've shared with you, blogs, articles, are great fuel for a newsletter. And you can see the sample newsletter that we have on the screen now includes a handful of blog posts or articles that all share the messages this agency is trying to bring to its prospects. A web seminar invitation, an update regarding Affordable Care Act compliance, a Supreme Court ruling that impacts benefits accounts. So you can see that they're going after benefits prospects, all with educational opportunities that they can use to grab the attention of the people that they wish to sell to. It's also great retention tools to send to clients, but we're primarily concerned with building a subscribership of prospects that are looking for this newsletter on a monthly basis and want to hear from the publisher of that newsletter. Now, newsletters do take some work, and it's not as simple as sending out a blog entry or a link to a blog or a blog subscription, but it gives you the opportunity to send a batch of content and offer a variety of ways to grab the attention of your prospect. When you have 5 headlines for them to read as opposed to 1, you have a greater chance to grab their eye, grab their ear, to earn some mind share. And also, a newsletter is typically considered to be a very educational, non-salesy tool. Now, it's up to you if you use it that way, and that is how we recommend you use it, but many people are open to subscribing to a monthly newsletter because they know it's going to contain valuable information, and they know they're only going to receive it about once a month, so they're not going to get bombarded with emails and links over time. So, Alan, tell us a little bit more, if you would, about how you've seen newsletters be effective for part of a content strategy.
So this is perhaps one of the best examples. Take a look at your screens right now. This is one of the best examples of utilizing content across multiple mediums. So here we have webinar, HDHPs, complete replacement, additional offering, solution to the Cadillac tax. Very good, educational title. It's a webinar. It's a live webinar. This webinar would be recorded and posted at a later date for viewing, which means that it could go on YouTube if they wanted, and also on their website. But it began its life, of course, as an email invitation, and it was then turned into a blog. It was repurposed for a press release. It's appearing in a newsletter. It will be tweeted, posted to all the social media sites, Google+, etc. It can go on to LinkedIn publishing. Perhaps the only thing it can't really do, it really wouldn't be an article, for example, for e-zine, but it could be used for LinkedIn publishing. So it covers almost all the basis of what evolved from essentially an email invitation. That's a great utilization, and it now appears as a leading article in a newsletter. And it's not selling anything. It's saying, come learn about HDHPs. Are they complete replacements? Is it an additional offering, or is it a solution to the Cadillac tax? Terrific, excellent example. Can't recommend this approach strongly enough.
So now we've posted a blog, we've shared it on social media, we may have repurposed the content for LinkedIn Publisher, we may have turned that blog entry into an article and taken some of those content pieces and created a newsletter. What we want to do next is distribute some of this killer content that we've spent so much time and effort on to our prospect lists or to our opt-in subscribers. And so the next step in refining and developing your content strategy is email marketing. And when we start talking about email marketing in web seminars, we now show what not to do first, because with email marketing, what you see is not always what you get. And these are 3 emails that I've received recently that don't really make any sense to me. They're all from people that I was open to hearing from, but none of them loaded. One had an error right off the bat saying welcome content first name and an image that wouldn't load. One was 3 black images that didn't load at all, and that was actually from a wine retailer that's fairly expensive and trying to be elite and obviously missing the boat. And last but not least, another consumer retailer that used all images, so I have no idea what they were trying to show or what they were trying to say. So when you craft your message and you share this important content via email with your prospects and clients, make sure that you follow our best practices regarding email design so that they can actually hear what you have to say. And I have a sample on the screen. This is a screenshot from a webinar that we ran recently where we sent out an email that's a few sentences, a few bullets, and a call to action. Very simple, concise. It loads well on a PC, iPad, iPhone, Android, really any device, because it's all text. There's no images that can be blocked or won't load. We didn't use a trackable link in this case to improve the chances that it would make it through any type of spam filter or security system. So by using the text bullets call to action method and avoiding templates, images and graphics, or spam and rush words, we were able to have very high deliverability for this educational content and drive a lot of website traffic, webinar registration, and eventually that played through to additional blog traffic, increasing and improving the metrics all the way across our content strategy. So, Alan, I'm sure you have some great stories you could share regarding email marketing and what you've seen over the years.
Absolutely, and it is evolving. It is getting more complex and intricate than it used to back, when I started 12 years ago with e-marketing. That said, many of the same rules still apply, which is you can use a multi-part MIME email, limit your graphics even on your quote-unquote graphically rich email, with the only exception perhaps of being a newsletter, something that somebody has specifically said, I want this to come in. Even with newsletters, you can offer HTML and text versions of that newsletter. But above all, don't assume what you're sending is what the person's receiving. Keep it simple so it comes in looking professional. Especially if you're working with business people, they're expecting a business email. Don't make your insurance agency email look like a wine ad want to be. You're not selling a liquor over the internet. You're selling considered purchase products. You're selling things that people very much need and need to understand the nuances of and need to respect the person who's sending it. So that John gave you some great examples here. This is the way a professional email should come in. And of course, you have to follow the CAN spam regulations and make sure that when it arrives, they can quickly understand it, the subject line is not too long, and it's still an educational email.
Thanks, Alan. The next step we're going to look at is video. What blogs or articles or webinars can you turn into vlogs or YouTube videos or webinar recordings to further expand your content presence on the web? This is a snapshot from our YouTube channel. You can see we have dozens of videos posted to our YouTube channel now because whenever we can, we capture our content idea via video. There's many ways of doing this, the simplest of which is a vlog. Taking content like you posted to a blog, maybe a short blurb or article or commentary about a current relevant issue for your prospects, and create a few slides and record that PowerPoint using something like GoToWebinar or recording software so that you have a short, maybe 2-minute video that you can post to your YouTube channel and to your blog where you're actually narrating, speaking, sharing, interacting directly with your readership as opposed to simply sharing text. You can also record web seminars. If you have great ideas that can be turned into web seminars, just like we're doing today, you can record those webinars. You can either post them as long tutorials or cut them up into short 2 to 3 minute snippets or video vignettes that you can post to your, again, website, YouTube channel, and share via social media. So Alan, do you have anything to add about what you're seeing with video from our agency clients and friends? It's been very powerful.
There is a new type of video called a whiteboard video. It is a professional something that you'd have to professionally render. It's not something typically an agency can record on their own, like a webinar, for example. I believe in covering all the bases and having recorded webinars, having a professional whiteboard video value proposition video on an agency homepage, and allowing, if there's some budget available, to do both professional videos and to do YouTube videos on your own. A YouTube video could be anything from a talking head interview, a Skype interview, a self-recording, to a webinar recording like this that can then be posted on your website and on YouTube. The number one thing you're trying to accomplish with all this killer content is when a prospect comes to your website, when you're speaking with a prospective client, when you're speaking with an existing client, that almost any question they ask, you can refer them to content that you've written, that you've recorded, that's professional, and explains what they're looking for. For example, if somebody came and said, can you tell me more about multivariate email marketing testing, about A/B split testing? Not only could we explain it, we can offer them YouTubes, blogs, and articles on that topic. That means that you are the subject matter expert. So if you're trying to convey, for example, I don't understand what group captives mean. Can you explain that to me as a business? Can you explain safety, why safety and wellness programs are important? I don't understand the Cadillac tax and the impact on my organization. I have 50 employees, but I have another 40 part-time employees. What does that mean with PPACA? My restaurant insurance, do I need a special clause for example, for food poisoning. All of these things make you an expert more than just saying it, because agents tend to be very verbal. More than just saying it, can you provide literature that shows you're an expert? Then you've said it, you've shown it, and you can say it again when you go for the close. So it's very important to take all this content to help make yourselves look like the subject matter experts that you are and want to be.
So let's bring all this information back together in a summary here of how to create killer content. We started by saying great insurance agency marketing requires great content. So let's review these 7 or 7.5 or 7 and a bonus tips that you need to follow or should follow to create great content. First, craft your message by selecting a topic, just like Alan was mentioning a moment ago, that's educational and of value to your prospects. Help them with their challenges and they'll read or listen. Post that content as a blog. It all starts with a great blog. One thing we didn't mention is that blog should also be optimized, titles, tags, categories for your keywords to help drive your prospects or pull them from search engines to your blog, to your post. Then share that information, share that content via social media. If you post it to your blog and you have 100 subscribers, that's great. Better is if you share it with your 500 connections on LinkedIn or post it to relevant LinkedIn groups, adding another 10, 20, 30, 100,000 contacts to your pool. People will like that content in LinkedIn groups if it's educational. If it's salesy, you'll probably get thrown out of the group. Post to LinkedIn's new publishing tool if you have access. When you have time, it's up and coming. It's going to be the next big thing with social media for business. And those 4 steps will reiterate you want to follow every single time you come up with a content idea. Then leverage articles, newsletters, video, and email marketing whenever the content's appropriate. If your agency is struggling with content creation, if you're confused, if you need help, if you have ideas but can't seem to get them effectively executed in a way that will drive traffic to your site and attract prospects and open conversations with your prospects, let us know. We'd be happy to provide a complimentary review. You can call me. My phone number is on the screen. Feel free to send me an email or visit our website or blog to learn more. With that, today's web seminar is now ending. We hope you all have a great day. We thank you for attending.